YouTube family, we got another one, and this is one of them ones. I always say it's one of them ones, but I listen, I call this man, he's I feel like he's the Kevin Gates of this thing, man. He's the Kevin Gates of this Shedeur Sanders Cleveland Browns talk, man. Let's go ahead and bring him on in. We got Moneymane, you already know, in the building, 57,000 strong. He been holding it down, musically inclined. We're gonna get to his music. We're gonna get to why they call you Moneymane? How, you've been doing cryptocurrency, you've been breaking it down for a long time. You talk Shador, the Browns, all the above. Make sure you go out there and check. I need everybody pulling up to check him out. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Make sure you're checking him out on all platforms. My guy, Moneymane, we finally got it together. Welcome on in to the Barbershop.
You already know. Appreciate you for having me, G. Bush. And let's go ahead and get this thing cooking, man. I've been waiting on this. I've been ready. Gonna get this Moneymane experience on your channel. Let's go.
Hey, listen, everything he said, like I be watching his content, and I'm like, man, I wish I was from the South, man. Like everything he said got some extra with it, bro. I'm like, bro, the way you be talking, I'll be like, oh man, this is crazy. This is crazy the way you be talking. First and foremost, before we even start, what's up to everybody and the members over there? Before we get into anything, first and foremost, we got to talk about this, because I did not know that when I pulled up on you, I said, who is doing your music? You said, that's me. I said, what? How did you get started into music? And first of all, before we even tell him something, we got to start the conversation out by checking out the music. He got the best theme. Listen, Mad Dog, I find myself bopping to your music, but listen, I love you to death, but this right here is different. So let him hear your theme music real quick.
Bang of a T and playing no games. I already know my name when I speak NCC flame. Got my YouTube popping, man. Like, subscribing, everything in between. You already know. Moneymane. You already know I
Go, Mag. Megan Thee Stallion need to be on this. This is crazy.
Moneymane in the name of the T and playing no games. I already know my name.
Boy, I let everything run. Listen, y'all might want to start playing around. Listen, that theme music, that was like, boy, take the floor. When you've been in these 808s, that was hitting tough. That was a club banger. How long you been doing music, my bro?
Man, I've been doing music since middle school, but I really got good in college. So I had put out 2 mixtapes. They really, they ain't gonna say go get them or nothing, but I was just practicing and doing it for fun, playing football and making music. That was my thing, man. I was in my element. And then so I started the YouTube journey, and I made that song 4 years ago. I did that 4 years ago, and that little short clip, and then I just kept growing from there. Just kept growing, and then we here, 57,000 strong, pushing 60,000. And I just want to say, when I hit 60,000, I'm giving away a Shedeur Sanders jersey. That'll be my 6th one I done gave away.
Listen, I just love the creativity. Like, I love the creativity. I love when people is in the YouTube space, and I like first and foremost, the entrepreneurship is on another level, because that's what I think a lot of people is missing in the game right now. I think a lot of people that's in the independent sector understand the hustle. I come from a little bit of both backgrounds. When you talk about the Cleveland media and regular media, I really start to see that, like, people like yourself, people that is entrepreneurs out there, that are really combining both worlds. And when it comes to the culture, how is it that you kind of mix the two worlds? Like, you do music, you doing other things. I've seen some posts on you. You talking about the finance, the economics, the different things like that. And then obviously talking about Shedeur Sanders, Cleveland Browns, and all those things. How did that happy mix come together, and how you put it down in mixed culture and a lot of different other places?
That's just me. It's Moneymane. You already know. That's my, my persona. I got my regular self. Then I got my football self, and then Moneymane, you already know, he the entertainer, he the rapper, he the guy you would like to have fun with. So the things that I do is just things I like to do. So I just wanted to spread and help somebody. Maybe I might not reach somebody, but if somebody just stumble upon my video, they might learn something, and I want to share my knowledge, because a lot of people, especially the Black community, we not financially literate, so we don't know certain things. So me going on this journey since 2020, when I've been learning about the stock market and the crypto, and I was playing video games and playing football, and I know football, so I can talk about it. I just put it all on one. And then my faith, I talk about my faith too. So on faith base, I throw that in there too. So somebody need it. Like you never know. Like every time I go live, it just come to me. I don't have nothing scripted. So my dad was a pastor for 41 years, for the people that don't know. So I grew up in the church. So that's just a part of me. So everything just is me. So I just put it all in one big pot. I say, because when you come to my live, I say you're going to get everything. You're going to get the laughs. You're going to get the jokes. You're going to get the music. You're going to get the facts. Because I ain't going to lie to you. You're going to get everything in my live. So that's just how I put it in one big bottle, presented it.
Yeah, listen, that's what, that's what really drew me to your content, was the fact that it's kind of the same thing. Like when I talk about the things that I get into, I really don't even really, it just come to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't really, I have a rough copy, a rough idea of what I want to get into, but I try to mix everything in one. That's what really drew me to your stuff. Is you talk about, financial literacy, you talk about football, you talk about faith, you talk about all of these things, you talk about music. And yes, he made the Prime Equity song. We're going to get to that as well. We're going to play that. We got that in here as well. So, those are things that really got me to your page. In terms of how you came about, doing Shedeur Sanders and Colorado type content. How was that for you? And what was the first thing that really got you into the thing with Shedeur Sanders? Was it the Browns when he got drafted here? And how far do you go back when it comes to, covering Colorado, covering Prime, covering Shedeur?
I go all the way back to Jackson State. I went to the Celebration Bowl game. I was following Travis Hunter. And then, when he went to Jackson State, I got put on the Shedeur. Mm-hmm. I already knew about Shador, but his game I got put on, because when I went to that game, it was so amazing, and they lost in overtime, and the atmosphere was just electric. And so when Coach Prime was going, Bucky started well off media, I started watching that, and then Coach Prime went to Colorado, so I just kept it going, and just been following him since then. And when he got drafted, I was live doing the draft too, but I wasn't too big on here yet.
Right.
Shador, but I just follow it, and then the sabotage came, whichever word you want to use. A lot of people call it something different, but it just made me like, come on now, somebody got to tell the facts. So that's how I got started talking about Shador and the Browns. And G Bush, I'll tell you this, a lot of people don't know, but my cousin, he actually played on the Browns 2 years ago.
For real? You had people on the Browns. No names, please. I mean, if you want to divulge that. Yeah, that's your peoples. Shout out to Dalvin Tomlinson, man. Like, that's crazy, man. You already kind of got an inroads. You with the Browns, you were aware of it. And here's the thing that really got me is the Shedeur Sanders and the sort of say Cleveland's media saga. We've been going back and forth, and a lot of people, and I'm gonna play this clip really quickly. And this is a clip from your channel, and it kind of goes into the way that the Cleveland Browns have been going into it it just seems like when Shedeur got here, there was a lot of people in the Cleveland media that was going out their way to hate. Now, for me, how I got on it was I already covered the Browns. I covered it, and I had already known that Shedeur Sanders, I watched him all the way back at Jackson State. My dad went to HBCU. He's we big Prime fans. So we watched him at Jackson State when he went to Colorado. We started watching there, and everybody else kind of around the country kind of got put on to, what they was doing out there. And when he got here, I was surprised that people was throwing the salt in the game. I'm like, bro, this guy is one of the top quarterbacks in college football coming out. Why don't y'all see the vision? We'll play this clip and we'll come back and talk about that here in a little bit. Make sure you go check out Moneymane. You already know YouTube channel as well.
Browns posted that, and you see what picture they put up at the end. If the Cleveland Browns don't believe Shedeur Sanders is the QB1, then I don't know who do. Because the Cleveland media, if you listen to them, they'll tell you otherwise. It's comical. It's droll. It's waggish, the way they talk. I'm telling you, man, it's ridiculous that they sit here and don't see that they got two winners on their team. Shedeur Sanders, all he did was win. That's all he want to do is win. I don't want nobody worried about going to Italy. I don't want nobody throwing their wrists up because they got a Cartier watch on. I don't want nobody that ain't all in. And Deshaun Watson ain't all in. That's all I'm going to say.
When you talk about it, now this is crazy because I do believe Dalvin Tomlinson, played with Deshaun Watson. Is that correct?
Yeah, he did.
So
he came, 2023, I think.
Yeah, 2023. We'll kind of start with the situation. You know, Deshaun Watson, when he got here, he was embroiled in a lot of things going on outside the field. And one of the things that we saw was, you know, there was this suspension, and then he got injured, and then he was injured with the shoulder, and then injured his Achilles. So, you know, a lot of people in Cleveland, you know, is apprehensive, to say the least, about what Deshaun Watson is and what he ain't, and whether he has anything left. Obviously, they talked about the quarterback battle and the quarterback competition with Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. What is your take on just what you've seen from Shedeur Sanders, what you see from Deshaun Watson, and how do you think this thing is going to play out during the summer?
Tom Munkin already done told me, in my interpretation, that Shedeur Sanders QB1, based on what they were saying about going younger, starting development, young players. They tell me they after Shedeur. Deshaun, I don't think you as a Cleveland fan and some of the other Cleveland fans, I don't think y'all want to go back to that dried up well. That's what I call Deshaun Watson. The dried up well, when you got a mule over here ready to plow this field to reap the benefits and generate all these good vegetables that you can eat and prosper from. That's Shedeur Sanders. That's how I use this analogy. Deshaun, it's been, 5 years? He been in Cleveland. He ain't played the last year and a half. People thinking about him going back to 2020 Deshaun in COVID year. Now, I got things about that saying, you know, the fans wasn't really in the stands. That's why he had the big year, because you had no pressure. It was like a practice. All you had was the music playing and the other team you going against. Plus, he had some good receivers over there. And, you know, the Browns, they still need the receiver. I don't really too much like Jared Judy that much. But for Deshaun to get back to that 2020, Deshaun, I don't think he can do it the way this team's structured. And then I also think they wasted another year of not only Shedeur Sanders, but Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward. Because if you telling me you're going to move forward and develop these young quarterbacks, you need to play them right now, especially Shedeur, because he got the most potential. I don't think Deshaun, he getting older. He coming off injury. Whatever he got left in the tank, just mentor Shedeur and let him start playing. You
know, one of the things that I look at, and a lot of people talk about this, is you look at the time frame in which Deshaun Watson has missed. I mean, he missed 100-some days, you know, almost 300-some days the first time when between sitting out a year, the suspension, and then coming back for the Browns. Now he's torn his Achilles heels twice. And one of the things that I always mention is during the time periods when you're competing, one of the things that you need to do is you need to be available. And when you talk about having a quarterback competition, are you going to be able to practice day after day? Are you going to be able to go out today and then, you know, get ready and come back again the next day and be able to practice? And one thing that is not on the side, and I always tell people, is, you know, when it comes to it, Shedeur Sanders is younger. Shedeur Sanders, and I agree with you. Todd Monken and Andrew Berry have really told me what I think is the marching orders in terms of who's in the pecking order, quarterback one. What have you heard from Todd Monken, which kind of really sparked your interest and say, yeah, this is what I need to know, because he's telling us what the writing is on the wall.
When he said, we looking at the past in them last 3 games. And then when he said, I think it was at the combine, when he said, if you look at it, them last 3 games, if we put them games at the beginning of the season, we 2-1 in the division. So that's all I need. And on top of that, the way the Cleveland Browns have not said anything to the Cleveland media, the negative Cleveland media, about what their plans are. Like, I know we done heard Andrew Berry talking, Todd Monken talk, but I think it's all smoke and mirrors, because whatever Andrew Berry done said, he done the opposite. Let me add you that, G. Bush. So the beginning of the year, we had Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett on the team.
Yes, sir.
The Cleveland media didn't know neither one of them were getting traded.
Not at all. Not at all.
The head coach didn't know neither.
Not at all.
So why would I believe you when you tell me the Cleveland Browns and Andrew Berry thinking they're going to do something when obviously he's not telling you what he's going to do because he didn't tell y'all he was trading 2 quarterbacks. I got a theory on it.
That was it. That was the time where you start to see the divide. To be honest with you, I think you started to see the divide a little bit earlier. That remember when they said Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski was looking like Jimmy Haslam had picked a quarterback and they was upset about it? Mm-hmm. Nah, that was the awkward pause. That was awkward acknowledgement that one person had chosen Dylan Gabriel and another person had made the move to take Shedeur Sanders, and one person did not know that, and that was Kevin Stefanski. And you started to see the distance at that point. We just didn't know at the time. But when you see their faces, you see the distance between those guys.
I do you one even better, G-Boy. I made a video about it. How Andrew Berry setting it up for Shador to be the franchise quarterback. And we didn't even see it, and it happened in the first preseason game. On the sideline, their interaction. I played the clip over and over, and I was looking at it on TikTok. I watched it over 50 times, and I said, Andrew Berry done hit Shador with that, hold on, bro, they looking. When he said Shador, like, calm down. You know how Shador get excited, and he was excited for playing that first preseason game. And when he was hugging Andrew Berry, and Andrew pulled back and was just looking at him like, calm down, bro, because they watching. They looking. Just wait. I'm setting it up for you. Yeah. Just be patient. And so we at this point now, and I think that's what Andrew Berry doing. But I had made a full video on that, man. And it was amazing, you know, just my perspective, my opinion, that how Andrew Berry playing chess while everybody else playing checkers.
I think you're very astute with that, because when you break that down, you see him give him that dap, like, yeah, man, I'm real proud of what you did there. I'm really proud. And he's like, you know, but I'm just saying, I told you. He's like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Mind you, think about what happened, what transpired after that. Kevin Stefanski went right to work on tearing that whole situation down. Because if you remember, the very next week, you get Dylan Gabriel with the Philadelphia Eagles. He turned the ball over 2 times. Magically, the entire media and press, oh, it wasn't that bad. Dylan actually looked better than Shedeur. He actually threw the ball back. I said, how are you going to tell me I'm seeing this man throw touchdown passes, and one dude fumbled and had a pick 6. But all of a sudden, it was, well, Dylan actually looked a little bit better. I said, oh, this is when I actually knew that the fix was in, so to speak, and that Kevin Stefanski never really truly ever planned to play Shedeur Sanders in his first year. What was what do you think, in your opinion, was the interaction in the I guess the relationship between Kevin Stefanski and Shedeur Sanders?
Non-existent. I think when they talking about how Myles Garrett said it when Shedeur went in Kevin's office and he would see Shedeur in there, I think Shedeur initiated that. You know, I think Shedeur got proactive and went in there, hey, coach, because he's not getting developed. He was throwing to the trainers in the water boys and, you know, playing with the hungry dogs after practice. He wasn't getting that many reps. So I think he took the initiative to go in there and to talk to Kevin, to ask him, hey, coach, you know, I need help in this area. I know I need to learn this. And, you know, he just want to get better. So I don't understand, you know, some of the takes that Shedeur don't want to be a QB1 or don't want to play quarterback, or do we really want to be here, and some stuff, you know, the negativity. I don't understand that when all I done seen since Jackson State was Shedeur work. He been working.
And you know, to speak to that point, we got a clip right here from Shelby Harris, and I think this was telling, because now you started to see during that time period a lot of Cleveland Browns players come out and echo some of the same things, because it was like, whoa, where is this coming from? Because everybody else is seeing this type of energy. This is Shelby Harris on what Shedeur was doing and the kind of the bad rap that he got in terms of with the media in Cleveland.
I was highly impressed with the kid. I believe that he definitely got the short end of the stick. You know, everyone made all these big deals about stuff that it was out of his control. He can't control who his dad is. But the one thing I will say is that Shedeur works. He works his ass off.
He did?
And he takes the time to get to hang out with his teammates, which I think is extremely important, especially when you're a young quarterback, because it's all about building those relationships with the players and building that time with them so that when it is crunch time, you know how hard I've been working to get here. You've seen it. You know, I hate the narrative that goes around about Shedeur, because Shedeur, all he does is go in and work. And if anything, you got to give Deion credit for that. He taught him how to work. He taught him how to handle himself at work.
And you know, this is coming from a veteran. This ain't coming from some other rookie. I mean, this guy has these guys have no incentive to lie about this guy's work ethic. I thought it was funny. One of the big stories this week was, and I shout out to my man Earl the Pearl. He brought this up on 92.3 The Fan. Make sure you go shout out and listen to his show. He said something. He said, listen, I find it funny that last year when we talked about work ethic in Shedeur Sanders, whether he was in the front of the room or whether he was picking up the playbook, or just 1 week, some of our colleagues insinuated that he didn't watch film, didn't know how to watch film, don't know when he's hot, all that good stuff. We hear that the owner, as well as the head coach, says Shedeur has been there all off season. Dillon Gabriel has been MIA. Now, we find it funny that if it was switched, we would, hey, listen, what we be talking about. What is your take and what your thoughts on the fact that now it's not a big deal? Because Dillon's night, it's not a big deal. It's just off-season stuff.
It would have been national headlines. It would have been media, beyond media. Some of your favorite, I don't know if you call them colleagues, some of the Cleveland media up there, I don't want to, Mary Kay, I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
They'll be the first one to publish, Shedeur ain't in the building. Shedeur ain't been up there all winter. Shedeur ain't been doing this. Shedeur ain't been that. But when it come down to Dillon Gabriel, I think they know Dillon Gabriel ain't that good. They was trying to push Dillon Gabriel because he was a 3rd-round pick. And then we come to find out that was Kevin Stefanski pick. And they back Kevin. That's they dog. So they gonna try to defend everything he done did, even with him not being here. So we are seeing Dillon Gabriel win it. All them little dink and dunk short passes, 5 yards, then throw balls over 20 yards, throwing them in the dirt, in the ground. Then they want to talk about Shedeur on the other hand when he throwing for over 360 yards and 3 touchdowns and rushing for one. Only the second quarterback they ever do that.
That don't count, though.
He don't get the same respect. And I think it's a little deeper than, just football. I take it all the way back to, some of them folk, I call them skin folk mentality. They were trained and raised a certain way. And then you seeing a young black man with an influence, not just a negative influence, because that's what they want, but a positive influence, that's a threat.
Listen, I'm glad you said that, because I truly believe, it's one of those things where there's certain things that you actually have to really push back on. And I've told myself a lot of times, when you get in a position when you actually work in the media, the thing you got to actually really watch is that I don't like to play with the negative stereotypes that black quarterbacks don't know what they're doing. Black quarterbacks ain't leader of men. Black quarterbacks may not be guys that know what the film is saying or working extra. And then we give some of these other traits to other people when it's just a stereotype in terms of, all right, well, if I'll give a case in point, and I'll to your point, and this was factual, and this is 1000% verifiable. When they started talking about he wore his hat backwards, I said, oh, no. If you're a football player and you're a football, first and foremost, the only person that wear hats, if you play ball or no ball, is the coaching staff and quarterbacks. Quarterbacks stay with the hat on. If you're a D lineman, if you're O lineman, don't be out there. It's almost like saying the only people out there with jewelry is receivers. Like they just they got it on. But there's been every quarterback in the world, whether it's Ben Roethlisberger, whether it's Jared Goff, whether it's Eli Manning or Peyton, everybody that had them hats on. And we show pictures, but all of a sudden, it's a problem when Shedeur had a backwards hat on. That is the exact point that you're talking about. Is it's good for one, but the other one, it comes with a negative connotation to it.
They go back, like I said, all the way back. I'm a history buff too, so I know a little bit about that. And I'll take it all the way back to Jim Crow. Shedeur ain't the typical quarterback. He don't look like what they think he should look like, and he don't talk the way they think he should talk. So that discourages them from taking him and saying, oh, yeah, this is a franchise quarterback. Oh, this is what a quarterback's supposed to look like, because they ain't never seen a quarterback look like that. He got that prime time in him. That prime time. You got to be a little flashy, had the jewelry on, hat backwards, but that's just his personality at the same time. But a lot of people don't know how to handle that because us black men are strong. And then when you got a strong influence like that, where he can influence these little black boys and little black girls to become something positive in life, like he went to the hood and had their whole fun fest and didn't need nobody. Mm-hmm. They didn't like that. And the reason why they didn't like that, because now you can't control them little kids, the black boys and little black girls, you can't control them and develop them the way you want them to go, to stay in that poverty mentality and that poverty mindset. When you got a young, rich black man coming in there giving back to the unfortunate or these kids that probably ain't never seen it, they can change they path in life, they journey in life. He's just showing up and being in there could change the way they move the rest of their life. Because I met Shedeur Sanders. Oh, Shedeur did this for us. It's just that simple. And I see that as a threat, man. I see that as a threat.
I see it as more than that. Like, you got to I've always said, I'll take it a step further, because I work in the media, and I've worked for 92.3 The Fan. I've worked for WKYC. I've worked for the Bleacher Report. I've worked for all these outlets. And one of the things that you always understand is controlling your own narrative is a huge deal, because the way Prime, has really, taught and really, put his children in a position that they understand and can basically benefit from their own likeness, benefits from some of the things in the generational wealth and the generational knowledge he passed down. It's a little scary, because one thing that they, well off media, is the fact that they were able to get NFL clearance to be able to be in those press conferences, to be able to disseminate that information. So for me, I look at it at a larger level. Not only is he black, not only is he educated, he comes from an affluent background, he has pull. The thing that he also does is he does it in a different way. And when you say you're the face of the franchise, are you ready to make the face of your franchise a guy that likes Cuban chains, that loves rap music, that controls his own narrative, controls his own message? Those are things that a lot of people in the establishment may frown upon.
You right, because Cam Ward don't have that same influence, that same pull. Caleb Williams don't even have that. Jaden Daniels, none of these, Bryce Young, none of these young black quarterbacks had that same type pull Shedeur got. Because if you make $20 million before your name get called in the draft, that means you get some influence. You got a brand that don't nobody have, and then that's why, I know we talked about it earlier. That's why I came up with the prime equity clause, so these quarterbacks like Shedeur could benefit from it. But, them comparing them to Shedeur, like, I don't see it, because they not the same. They wasn't in the same predicament. They weren't raised by a Hall of Famer and had all this media attention since they was born. You can't compare Shedeur and Cam Ward and Caleb Williams and all them other black quarterbacks, because that's what they like to use. That's the first thing I hear. Like, well, another black quarterback went number one.
But all of those guys, to be honest with you, it's different, because he switched his jersey to. It was so funny, because he was like, "Are you gonna do 12 or are you gonna do 2?" We'll get to that as well. He was like, "Yeah, I ain't paying nobody to get my number 2 jersey." You know what I'm saying? I'm just out here. I'm a young rookie in the 5th round. What they really don't like is like Shiloh. Shiloh don't got to play no football. Shiloh don't got to do nothing. He don't got. Shador don't need to play no football. All the rest of them dudes, if they was not playing football, what would they be doing? And that's also a part. Speaking of the prime equity, let's get to it, man. We got to get to it, man. We're going to play this song. Now, this is so crazy, because this is the one I told you. I said, these 808s is, the 808s on this, boy. We gotta make sure we play this, man. Make sure you check this out. Get ready.
Yeah. Highlight every can in the crowd. Gotta run my cup when the merch sell out. AI contracts, nil packs. You already know where the power at. Prime equity, I own my name. Not just a player.
Boy, what did you, when you thought about that, what made you think of that, man? What made you come up with the idea just to even do that? To, like, you know what I'm saying, put that together and to be like, yo, prime equity, let me do a song with that, man.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to start from the beginning. So I was on live on my channel, and I was sitting here doing some research on what the next contract Shedeur should get and could get if he become the starter for the Browns. And, he's going to be unrestricted free agent in 2029. So I just, I was on ChatGPT. I just typed it in, and it gave me some ideas, and then it said something about prime equity. So I looked it up, and I'm just gonna read my official definition because the AI channels took it and spun it in a different way. But prime equity is a concept that blends power, brand power, media leverage, and ownership mindset inspired by the legacy of Coach Prime and carried forward by Shador. It's not a real contract clause yet, but it's a new age negotiating weapon for players like Shedeur who bring more to the table than just football talent. So that's how I came up with it, just based on what his second contract could look like. And then prime equity came up out of that. And then like right after I had posted it, I had it in the live stream, and then I chopped it up and posted it as a regular video. And like 2 days after that, the AI channels on YouTube, they took it. And they started uploading it. They had me in their videos, like had me talking from my video in their videos, and then it just spread. I don't even know how it went viral like it did, but it took off and exploded. Like 2 days after that happened, I got mad. I was distracted. I call it the distraction because I was distracted. But 2 days, I was trying to report all these pages. The AI pages was using my content. And it had went viral. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get them back. I'm gonna do what I do. Right. So I made the song, a little help with AI. But I made the song, I put it out. That made me create a whole new revenue stream. Like they don't know that when I get mad, I don't get like frustrated. I try to figure out what's the next thing I can do. How can I get better? How can I learn from this? So Prime Equity, the song came from that situation right there. So I just put the whole prime equity clause, what it mean, and then wrote the lyrics and made it into a whole song. And now I got over 100,000 streams on that song. It went crazy.
Listen, I you know what I like? I like the creativity, man. Like I love the creativity. Like I'm a big fan of like people. AI is a tool to be used to be creative with. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that sometimes AI get a bad rap. And it's like, all right, man, like AI is, if you use it in the right way, if you use it in a way to be creative, if you use it in a way to bring light to something, I'm all for it, bro. Like go out there and do your thing, because when I came across, I was like, bro, that's fire, bro. Like it's crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? And even you had to come up with it with the thought process, like, okay, well, let me even come up with some lyrics or the idea of to do the prime equity clause. So for me, I feel it like I feel like it hit different. And also, I want to play this other clip that you got because you was talking about this, and it kind of rolls into the prime equity thing in terms as one of your shorts talking about the change to number 2. Boog was over here. He too was telling me about the change. He was like, what you think about going back to 12 to 2? And he was kind of foreshadowing it. But let's take a look at this and get your take on what you think about what's going on with the 2 chain.
Prime equity play I'm talking about, man. If y'all told me that Shedeur Sanders generated $250 million in jerseys hit sales, selling the jersey number 12. What you think gonna happen when he switched back to number 2? His whole logo, his whole identity, his whole persona, his whole legendary campaign is built around number 2. So it's only obvious, it's only right that Shedeur Sanders switched back to number 2 for his brand.
Take a look at, one of the things that we talk about with that is, the switch back to number 2. What are your thoughts about that? And kind of, your thoughts about what's going on with the prime equity and your thoughts on that.
I love to switch back to 2. It was on the right. Second year, second Pro Bowl, Cleveland Browns in playoffs in the same sentence. It's on the right to go back to 2. And like I was saying in the video, he connect with his brand. He got a whole logo based off the number 2. So having the opportunity to switch back to 2 was only right. And then, like I said, $300 million play. If you telling me he made $250 million with 12, and he known for wearing number 2, and he switched back to 2, like I bought the 12 jersey. Now I gotta go get the 2. If you a real true Shedeur fan, or a Brown fan that likes Shedeur, you gonna go buy the jersey regardless. I don't care if you got the 12. You just gonna hang the 12 up and say, "Oh, that was his rookie year." I'm one of the.
That's to your throwback. You know what I'm saying? Like this is crazy. I just got off the phone with my mama, and my mom was like, "Listen, now I just got So put it to you like this: my aunts and uncles. I got 11 aunts and uncles on my dad's side. I got 7 aunts and uncles on my mom's side. I just now got all of the 12 jerseys. My mom, they switched back over. My mom then switched up and said, yo, hey, we need the 2s. I just put the order in for the 2s. And Browns got about 4 jerseys. So she'd have put all the order in for the 2s. My dad then put the order in for the 2s. So it's a brilliant marketing scheme. And plus, on top of that, I always call it like the rebirth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like before he had to put a lot of work in on the football field to even put, you mentioned that 365-yard game. For him to be able to do that and throw for 365 whole doggone yards and then lead the team in rushing, another rushing touchdown, to be able to do that without no reps, the offensive coordinator and the head coach against him, and not even giving him an opportunity to be able to pull that off is miraculous. So he had to ball out just to even get the fair shot and opportunity to get the rest of the runway the rest of the season. So now he got the runway with the rest of the season. Now you take a look at what he's doing now. Now you're almost telling him, you thought I was doing my thing then? Wait till I get back to what I'm doing getting back to what I really do and start cooking.
So I seen a clip with Michael Vick. He was talking about how he was in high school. He had wore number 1 and he switched to 7. And he said when he put that 7 on, he got superpowers. Like he couldn't be stopped. So I'm like, did the same situation with Shedeur. 12, you seen what happened in 12, the potential. Then you go back to 2, he about to get superpowers. He just gonna go back to what he been doing. And that jersey number 2. I know a lot of people say the player make the jersey and the number, but when you got a significance and a campaign and a whole brand behind it, it means something different. And I think he really about to take off. And I don't think the Cleveland fans, especially this negative Cleveland media, I don't think they ready for it. Because they going to have to backtrack so much on what they said. It's going to be crazy.
That is the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize. I don't think people understand that what's about to take place. And I think the Cleveland media is in a place where, there's a lot of people that they had relationships with Kevin Stefanski, and they had relationships, and they was getting a lot of information from Kevin Stefanski on what was going down. But right now, we got a new movement going. It's called #NewCleveland, and a lot of people. It's a breath of fresh air because there are people that have been infused into the Cleveland Browns network, infused in the Cleveland Browns fandom that haven't been here before, that aren't used to the losing, aren't used to the team getting taken away. I bring a lot of old Browns fans on here and people that have been covering the Browns for years, and they tell you about the trauma that goes along with consistently being losers for years and years and years and years and years. And now that there's an infusion of people that ain't used to the losing, ain't used to the negativity. They following people that have been winners since they was in high school. So now they come in, and those people are looking at us being like, what's wrong with y'all? Why y'all got the mentality that, why wouldn't you want to see a young quarterback people is excited about? And why do you want to continue to go to the anybody but Shador angle instead of just being like, let's see what this young man can do? And go with this youth movement with some other great players like Harold Fanning Jr. Shout out to the McKinley Bulldogs who went to my high school. The Quinshawn Judkins. Shout out to the Buckeyes. Why would you not want to see that? Do you find that kind of puzzling on your part when you look at the Cleveland Browns media?
No, not really. Because like you said, that loser mentality. That's the only reason why I say not really, because I done been around a loser and seen the loser mentality and how easy it is to sink back to what you know. Because you don't know how to win. You ain't seen the winner. So when you get a winner in front of you, you don't know what he look like. You don't know what it feel like. So the loser mentality is easier to go back to than try to change and get on board with a winner when it's going to be hard. When he going to take you to some places you ain't never seen and you get scared. I don't know, I'm just guessing, but I think some of the Cleveland fans and Cleveland media, they scared to see what a winning Brown team would look like. So, because you've been losing for so long. Now, I know what y'all won a division in 1980 something. I skipped that because the only thing that matters is the championship. So the last time the Cleveland Browns were relevant was 1964 with Jim Brown. So what I'm saying is you ain't seen a winner since then. So you don't know when you got a head coach that come from winning, man, won 2 national championships. All he do is win. Then you got a quarterback that I still don't understand how the Cleveland media ain't figured this out. You got a young quarterback that wants to be in Cleveland. Like, that's a big thing. Like, I done heard players say, you know, Cleveland, that's the place where you go to die. Your end of your NFL career. So if you got a young player that want to be in there and want to change this franchise because he turned down getting drafted by the Eagles and the Ravens. So he chose you. He chose you and you still don't want him. I don't understand that.
You bring up a very good point. You go back and start to really break this thing down and kind of put this thing in perspective. I can go back to guys like, now Johnny Manziel had his own issues, but if you talk to him, Brian Hoyer was from here. Brian Hoyer was from St. Ignatius High School. He quarterbacked in the city, and he was the quarterback here. And he talks about how terrible it was to have to deal with some of the stuff. Tim Couch, they booed Tim Couch when he was on the ground, hurt. Like, Odell Beckham Jr. is the young guy who said, the man who said, man, they traded me to Cleveland. That's where you go to die. Like Baker Mayfield said, I can't wait to play Kevin Stefanski 2 times a year. Think about this. These are your players who are high-priced free agents. You traded for them, and they all have the same adversarial relationship with the organization. And I think a lot of that comes from the relationship with the media. And I really do. You asked the question. You said, I don't think that they're really ready for a winner. I guarantee they're not. The people in Cleveland, it's easy to cash checks when you could just say the Browns are terrible, the Browns are bad, the Browns are horrible, the Browns are garbage, the Browns are this, the Browns is that. Guess what? You can just have a competition to who can say the best that the Browns are trash. But when you actually get good, you might actually have to actually put some work in and know the game.
They scared of that work.
That work.
I want to know, as being a reporter covering the Cleveland Browns, being part of that Cleveland media, how much all 22 film do you watch?
Man, listen,
how much all 22 film do you watch? And then if you do watch it, do you understand what's going on? Because I get backlash from all these haters and trolls on YouTube, on X, and all on Instagram and Facebook. But do you actually know football to understand what you see on the field and what Shedeur Sanders is doing and what is not going on? Like, can you break it down for me? I coach football, so I know. I don't play football, so I know.
You see now listen, now here's where we get in trouble. See, you're not supposed to ask those type of questions now, Moneymane. You're not supposed to you're not supposed to be delving all into the nitty-gritty facts. What do you
let me tell you something. I don't care. I don't care. People do not scare me. I'm at the point in my life where I don't care what people think. I don't care what they say. I'm going to say what I want to say, and I'm going to keep it moving. If you don't like it, it's just on you. That's just what it is. Cause I'm walking in my excellence, in my journey, on my path to get better spiritually. I ain't got time to waste. Worry about what you going to say and what you think about what I said. So I know you got that list.
Unbothered. You unbothered about it. And I'll tell you, if you want to know, they ain't watching no film. I tell you, listen, ain't nobody watching no film. Let me tell you this. When all 22 come out, I already had the all 22. I watch the all 22. Then I go watch other people, how they break down all 22. Because I want to get a perspective on, listen, I'm not just one of them dudes. I realized that when I played in college, I played defensive line. I played offensive line and defensive line in high school. And my last game that I ever played in my life was in the year 2005. It's 2026. The game has evolved. The game has changed. So what I need to do is I need to be able to go talk to people who have played more recently. And I need to see and sit down with folks that know the different positions. So if I'm going to do a film review, I'm going to have to sit down with somebody who played receiver or defensive backs. I do my film reviews for our members only with Tyvis Powell, who plays safety, played receiver. I got to go and talk to some people that play quarterback. I got to get together with the guys, and I got to holler at Bernie Kosar. I got to holler at Joe Thomas for offensive line play. I'll holler at other guys, whether it's quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, whatever I need to do, and I'm going to watch it. The problem that I have with some of the media guys is they'll say something that they've heard. Well, Shador don't know how to do this. And you'll ask them, well, what did you think about him coming out of college? Oh, I'm not a college scout or anything. I just go by what somebody what? What are you talking about? You can't. What'd you think about the throw? When you say he ain't made all the throws or he don't know when he's hot, I said, well, what about What about when Chase Daniel breaks down the play against the Buffalo Bills in the bootleg action, and he carries his fake out, and Joey Bosa's crashing down the line. You didn't see that? Oh, no, I listen. I go by people they ain't watching no film, bro. Hey, Moneymane, they ain't watching no film. They're not breaking it down. They don't even understand what's going on now.
G. Bush, they've been a reporter for 25 years. I know exactly who you're talking about. They've been a reporter for 25 years, and you don't know how to watch film? You covering a sport for so long, you got to learn something. Even my mom know when the offense or defense on the field. Come on now, what a first down is. Y'all don't know nothing.
No.
I'm wondering, where do you get this information, or do you just make up these lies just out the blue and say somebody in the building told me, or I heard? We've been taught when somebody say I heard this from such and such, you already know it's a lie.
Here's the thing too. I've always said, when somebody, look, the same people that say they heard stuff, I got all kind of people in the building that would tell me something. Now, here's the thing about me and the people that told me something. I had it verifiable. Well, they told me when Shedeur Sanders was going to play. They told me Kevin Stefanski giving up them plays this week. But even when people tell you something, the foundation and principles that you always have to lean on is what? Your 2 eyes and the work that you put in. I'm not gonna be blindly listening to nobody. I tell people that listen to me, hey, you might like G. Bush, but I ain't infallible. I'm a man just like you. I make mistakes. I can be wrong. The only person that ain't never been wrong is the one above you. And at the end of the day, that's the only person you're supposed to be putting your faith in, not no man. But when you talking about this game, you don't supposed to be listening to nobody blindly. And look, do your research, do your homework, and then you make your assessment.
Yeah, you're right. But that's how I know they don't know what they looking at on film, or they just looking at highlights like somebody wrote. They just looking at highlights. It's a big difference from looking at all the perfect plays a player done made and then not looking at none of the bad ones that he need to learn from and the mistakes he done made. Oh, he missed his read. Oh, the tackle got destroyed, so he ain't got time to throw. So I don't. All I'm saying is do your own research.
There it is. When I was doing my research, you said something. I think you was with B. Watts. I was watching one of your show with B. Watts, and shout out to B. Watts too. He been on the channel. You said this, and I was like, oh, I like what you said right there. He said, and you was saying B. Watts. Andrew Berry already keep telling y'all. Andrew Berry said, well, what he did up front with this offensive line, he can put him a team out there today. They play today if they needed to. What's your thoughts about what the Cleveland Browns did in free agency, and what direction do you think that they may be moving in with the draft?
I love what Andrew Berry did, fixing that offensive line first, and saying that what you just said about they can go out there and play right now. That's a big statement. That means you believe in the moves you done made and don't believe you need to add any more. But just because you can add more, you're gonna do it to shore it up. So I like it, man. I like that confidence. And I think the Browns, now I got a biased opinion. Like my heart telling me that they're gonna pick, well, let me go back. My head telling me they're gonna pick Cornell Tate, right, but my heart want them to take Caleb Downs. Now, I got a whole scenario why I say Caleb Downs. So the reason why I say Caleb Downs is because what Andrew Berry loves to do when the draft is over with undrafted free agents, but mainly those wide receivers that have some legal trouble. It's two in particular. I'm talking about Stephon Diggs and Tyreek Hill. If he can even sign them on a veteran minimum or somehow, get them on the team because they ain't gonna have too many suitors, I say take the best player available at 6, which is a safety that I think is a generational talent. I compare him to Troy Polamalu. That's just me. But to shore up that back end, because as I seen it looking at the game and watching film, the weakness of the championship defense of the Cleveland Browns is the back end. The secondary need a little bit more help, and putting a player that can take you over the top back there and can grow, especially roam free got Myles Garrett and then Mason Graham in there. Then you got Carson Schwartz there in the middle. All you need is that top tier player in the back and Caleb Downs. That's why I say Caleb Downs. But like I said, my head saying they're going to take Cornell Tate, which is not a bad pick. I was watching your video on Ultimate Cleveland about how you were saying Cornell Tate is that guy, and I believe he is. But just me, I'm a defensive player too, so I might be a little biased. But I say take Caleb down.
Here's why I like a lot of people the way they're thinking. And I ain't gonna lie, in the beginning, I'm like, man, we need a receiver. We need these offensive linemen. You know, I don't know if you could take a safety at 6. Can you take a safety at 6? You need a receiver. The thing I like about what Andrew Berry is doing is the way you went about stocking up that front of your offensive line with guys that could play multiple positions. Elgton Jenkins, who's played both guard and both center. You got Tevin Jenkins, who they brought back, who's also played some tackle, some guard. You take a look at Titus Howard, who played on the right-hand side. You look at he could possibly move to the left-hand side. They've done Zion Williamson. You know, these guys have put themselves in a position where they don't need to reach necessarily at the top of your draft if you don't like any of those dudes. It puts you in a position where you can take Cornell Tate, or you can put yourself in a position if you love one of the defensive guys, you can entice somebody to say, hey, you want this guy? Come on up and get him if you want him. You want to put yourself in a position of power. And the thing that the Browns have done is they don't need to go necessarily take Maui Noah or take any of those guys. If they end up with Cornell Tate, I'd be fine at 6 and do exactly what it is. Take him at 6 and let's keep it pushing. But the flexibility that it allows you to do that, I will say that you know, the enticing level of saying that you got Carson Schlesinger. I mean, you got Tyson Campbell. Good gracious, you got Denzel Ward, Grant Delpit back there with Downs. That's crazy. With Carson Schlesinger and Sonny Styles, come on now, that's ridiculous. Obviously, you already got Myles Garrett, but you know, when you take a look at it, and the thing that we've always seen, and you know, we got people now talking about this. Come on, you know, you got guys talk about, you know, Mary Kay came out and said she would take Ty Simpson. Now let me tell you this. Let me give you the insight, guys. Let me get some. You know, I'll be hearing stuff. Cleveland Browns is not taking Ty Simpson with nobody's pick. I'm just let you know that right now. Like, they're not taking him with nobody's pick. And I told you that I felt like they've been really keeping their cards close to their vest, but Ty Simpson's not coming, big dog. Ty Simpson's not coming.
I never believed that, not even for a minute, because why would you draft a quarterback at 6 when you just drafted 2? And not only that, you told me last year that the reason why you like Dylan Gabriel is because he stayed in college for so long. Now you're going to take a quarterback that don't play 15 games? No, I don't see it. But I can see them trading back. But the way Andrew Berry talked, he put all the scenarios out there. So I really don't think he know what he's going to do until draft day, until you got Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, maybe David Bailey, or I don't think Reese going to fall to 6. But if you got them type defensive players sitting on the board, Cowboys, Jets, I got the Dolphins. I can see any one of them teams trying to trade up to get any one of them.
Come on up here. We ready to go with it, man. We're ready to go, man. Make sure, man. Let me throw this back out here, man. Make sure y'all checking my man out, man. You already see what it is, man. Moneymane, you already know. Make sure you go ahead and check and subscribe. We need everybody to go over there and put on. We appreciate him pulling up. Let me ask you this one thing before we get to a couple questions from the audience and some super chats. Let me ask you this question really quickly. A lot of people, you know, if you listen to the right folks, they'll tell you the Browns going to win 3 or 4 games, and they ain't got nothing. They ain't, you know, and it's crazy. It's that your own media saying this. From what you've seen and where you projecting and looking at what's available in the draft and what's already on the squad, and a jump from Shedeur Sanders and Todd Monken working with this offense, what is your predictions for 2026? And what do you see the ceiling for this Cleveland Browns team?
I got them making the playoff, winning the division, making the playoff. What are that, 10, 11 games, maybe even 12? That's my prediction. I'm bold with it, G. Bush. I ain't hiding behind nothing. I'm telling you right now, Shedeur Sanders going to be in that MVP conversation just based on what Todd Monken going to bring to the table. And I know how hard Shedeur going to work. You seen him. They posted the picture earlier today. He already in the lab learning this playbook and this install. And Todd Monken already said, we tried to draft your ass at the Ravens. He tried to get him at Georgia. So that means to tell me Todd Monken know this is maybe his only shot, and he gonna take and work these players and these quarterbacks especially until somebody get it right. And I think it's Shedeur. And I think he do believe in Shedeur.
I think, you know, the fact that he was there first to meet Todd Monken, the fact that he was already working with Jerry Jeudy, and Malachi Corley says, I'm going down and rap with him. The fact that he's already been the quarterback in the building for the majority, staying in Cleveland. The fact that people like, hey, you gonna come to this wedding, to this baby shower? He's like, nah, dog, nah, no. I'm dialed into this football thing. The fact that you seen him with the workout videos, we ain't even heard him say nothing too much. He ain't even we ain't heard nothing. I think he dialed in, and I think actually, to be truthful, they told him he got the opportunity. Now I will say this. You know, I talked to somebody, and this is factual. You know, they said, listen, G. Bush, Andrew Berry ain't promised us nothing. Andrew Berry ain't promised nobody nothing. He said he gonna give me an opportunity. And that was refreshing to me. You know why? Because it shows that Shedeur is locked in. He ready to go. And the negative stereotypes around people trying to act like somebody wanted something given to him. Absolutely not, bro. I was excited about that because now it tells me, hey, when we go into camp, we're going to go throw for throw. Hey, Deshaun, bring your best work. Dylan Gabriel, bring your best work. Hey, if it's going to be another quarterback that they bring in the fifth, sixth round as a project, bring your best work because I already know what my best work is. And that best work, I stand on principles with that against anybody. So even if he win this competition, after the conversation I had with somebody very, very, very close to this situation, I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. If he win that competition, he won it fair and square. He put the work in, and I'm ready for the Cleveland Browns to come into the 2026 season and say, you know what? Forget the games. Shedeur Sanders is the quarterback. He won the competition. He is our quarterback for 2026. And we can get to work.
Man, hopefully it'll be a real competition this time. Not whatever that was.
Whatever that was last time.
I know it.
Oh, man. Let's get to a couple comments. Let's get to a couple super chats. Joe McKnight 7664 says, y'all, it's okay if Deshaun Watson plays the first two games. That's about all he will have. Then 2 will take us to the Super Bowl in 2026. Go Browns. You already know. Thanks, G. Let me tell you this. Hey, shout out to Deshaun Watson. If you know, I'm a football guy. If Deshaun Watson want to come out here and be 2020 Watson and cook, by all means, my brother, come out here and cook. If the best man gonna win. But we're not gonna concede nothing. We're gonna have to, if he want to start first 2 games, he gonna have to cook. He gonna have to take that. He gonna have to take that, man. And Shedeur looked like he looked like he was ready to go today. Miss Bell says, where is the supercomputer? Did his hard drive short out? Shedeur was there when Dylan was put ahead of him. Come and compete. I thought they didn't want an entertainer. Was Dylan there today?
Yeah, he was there.
He was there?
Yeah, I seen the picture. I was gonna make a video about it if he wasn't. I was like, man, this man, he want to.
You was on his head. You was on him. You was on him.
He want to get traded. Bad.
I said, bro, you listen. Come on now, Dylan. Well, you got to work with something, man. A train of thought says, also saw the play calling change from Shedeur with in the personnel during the preseason. Oh yeah, they had listen. They scripted all of them. When Dylan started playing, I said, oh, that's an advanced concept that you're throwing right there in a vanilla preseason game. And then I also thought it was funny when there was an opportunity for him to go through a game-winning drive. They took him out of the game to protect him. What do you mean you're gonna protect him? What is there to protect? Come on now. Miss Bell says, I know. Go ahead. What you
I was just about to say, they ain't want Shedeur to outshine Dylan Gabriel.
Absolutely not. We're not. He took, and then you know what? I always think about this. It seems like history repeats himself. The time when you done put yourself in the game, he done threw for more yards than any other rookie in the history of the game, and you take him off the field to throw a double reverse throwback pass and crunch.
Don't get me started on that.
Really?
And they blame Shedeur for having a QBR of 18. Like, that's a stat the NFL don't even track. That don't mean nothing. But you got the coach that lost 3 games from coaching.
Just
come on now.
And then, and the owner said we should have won more than 5 games. Of course. because Stefanski gave 3 of them away. I could give you the time and the date. I know Dylan arrived, but he didn't. But he didn't. Quarterback 1 arrive. Nah, I think he's he's not in contention for that. Dylan know that. He even know that. He might want to go ahead and just, because I think they is going to draft another quarterback. He might be in contention for that practice squad. Play some renewed gospel. By the way, we got to talk about that too. We got to get to that. We're going to get to these super chats. Well, I'm going to get to that because I want to ask you about that as well. Miss Bell said, it's sad that Cleveland doesn't understand the revenue that Shedeur is going to generate. Cleveland needs every dollar they can get. We are coming anyway. We need that. We need all that for the stadium. And Jimmy Haslam ain't no fool. Hey, you don't become a billionaire overnight.
I said that on my channel too. He ain't become a billionaire owning the Cleveland Browns. He was a billionaire before. I said that man smart. He gonna put all his businesses outside that stadium.
All of it.
It's easy.
Everything. He gonna have all the. I knew what it was when they was at training camp. I went to training camp. You know they be selling jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
It's Myles Garrett and Dennis Shedeur. It wasn't nobody else. It wasn't no. I'm like, dang, ain't no Denzel Ward uniforms. Nah, no Flacco's, no Dylan Gabriel's, no Quentin. It was Shedeur Sanders and Myles Garrett. And they had, and only Miles had 2 colors. They had 3 or 4 colors that wasn't even released for Shedeur. I said, oh, they already know what it is. 3, 4 unreleased colors. Phyllis Smith says, what do you think about the Browns taking Sincere for Colorado as an undrafted free agent? He's 6'5". He just needs some more weight. I ain't got no problem with it. They can bring all kind of undrafted free agents in it. Somebody, I was playing around. I said, if Shiloh want to come out here and run down on kickoff, we need a special.
Look,
we need a special.
I'll come run down there on kickoff. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, listen, put me on that kickoff now. The pub says marketing says everything Sanders, Bond, and Fannin. They had them out there. That marketing campaign. When they put that thing on Twitter, and then Shedeur came. Well, I knew what they was gonna do when they said they got a Paris game. Now they just was in England. They was just in England. You don't get back-to-back games like that on no foreign soil if you're not a top-notch team like the Chiefs or somebody like that. They already put them back-to-back. So
and they had Shedeur on the store wall or something out there when they went over there and played. I was like,
all outside. He's not even playing. Nita says Cleveland needs to finish out the apology tour to Shedeur. From last year's travesty, forget this competition talk and get Shedeur ready for the season. Deshaun Watson and Dylan can figure out the backup situation. I don't even think Dylan Gabriel is in contention for the backup. Here's what I think about Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, I think they're trying to rehabilitate his career. I think that they're trying to make sure that they can give him. They said, listen, we need you to chill out. We're going to need to keep refinancing this contract to be able to kick this can down the road. And I know this because where's the Deshaun Watson interviews at? There aren't any. If you starting quarterbacks talk all the time, we ain't seen Deshaun Watson talk in almost 365 days, a year and a half. So my thing is, where is the conversation at, and where is he at? I think they're hiding him. I think they're going to try to do a good job of getting him a year under his belt as a backup, and then try to move and see what he do later. The Real Night King says, what up, G. Bush? And the real one just turned 33 on the 1st. God is good all the time. Happy belated birthday, The Real Night King. We appreciate you. And T Storm says, G, bought the number 2 jersey today, waiting for the new Cleveland t-shirt to drop. We already got Rosie, we working on those? She already got it. We ready to get with that as well. Now, speaking of,
I was apologize for interrupting, but I need that merch too, man. I need that merch.
You need that.
I need that new Cleveland media, everything you got. The Barbershop, the Kool-Aid Mafia. I need all of it.
Get him. When you grace the stage, we gotta bless you. Can we get you? Can we get you on the list? We got a list of guys that we gonna get, and we make sure we get that gear out to you. You done pulled up. We make sure we take care of our people. We make sure we take care of family over there. You done came over here, your family now. Speaking of, we got to promote that. You got a gospel album coming out. Tell us about the gospel album. Tell them about how you went about it. And tell us just all about the project and some of the thoughts that went into that.
About the project, Renewed Gospel, be ye transformed by the renewing of your own mind. That was one of my dad's favorite verses, my favorite verse, because, you know, for you to be transformed and become a renewed, you got to start with your mind. So it all fit what I was trying to accomplish with this album. So that's why I named it that. And then renewed gospel, like the music part, I always had a thing for music and my faith. So I just put the two together. And like I say on my channel, it's a whole new sound. It's not that contemporary gospel. It's not your traditional gospel. It's a whole new sound. I got the 808s banging on some of them. Then I got your emotional, spirit filled songs on some of them. I got 20 tracks on this album coming out April 18th on all platforms. You'll be able to stream it everywhere. If you want a little sneak preview, then you go subscribe to Renewed Gospel. That's why I upload all the songs, and some that's coming out on the second album. We already working on the second one. They already uploaded over there. So that's basically it. That's how I came up with it. I wanted to start expressing and helping people musically. Because, you know, like I said the other day, a lot of people don't get the word, or they don't hear motivational uplifting things throughout the week or even throughout the year. So just to have a place where somebody can relate to it with the sound, because it sounds like something you're gonna play with the 215s in the trunk while you ride down the street in the box.
Kenwoods, the Kenwoods and the Alpines, you brought it back.
So when you playing it in that, and then you hear God in the choir singing, you be like, wait a minute, this ain't no trap music, this ain't no crunk music. So that's where the idea came from, and it's just a whole different sound, and I love it, you know. So it make me excited just being able to share it with somebody. And I look at the comments on their page, and I'm like, man, they're really touching people, and that's all I want to do, help people and touch people. Because like earlier I said, my dad, he was past the 41 years, and he passed away in 2023. So I just been on this journey. Bro. Thank you. I just been on this journey of trying to get better and grow in my faith. And at the same time, I want to share, because like you say, you never know. You never know. Somebody just might need it. Somebody just might need it and hear encouraging words.
That's what I'm talking about.
And it'll change their life. You never know. That's
what I'm talking about. I try to incorporate it. You know, it's so crazy. We talk about, and a lot of people don't know. Like I tell people, hey, it ain't for everybody. So we gonna talk about God. We're gonna talk about a personal journey. I told him, I said, when I started my own channel, God told me, he pulled up on me, he said, man, you need to build you an ark. I said, man, what is that? I'm like, what you think? He's like, nah, bro. He's like, yo, it's it's about to get real stormy out here, right? And what you need, and I love the fact that my father, he talks about the renewing of your mind all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, man, he used to, you know, we grew up, he was always like, he had all the tapes. He had the Georgia Mass and the Mississippi Masses and John P. Key and the Winans, BB and CC. He had all these tapes. And so we would always be walking around and just listening to these songs. And it's so crazy is like, as you get older, and, you know, I'm a big fan of hip hop, and you get into hip hop music. And as you get older, you start to, it's weird because you start to, some of the same songs you laugh and you party to, some of it you be like, you hear the lyrics and be like, you know the spirit tug on you. It'd be like, hey, listen, I mean, bro, you can't, it hits you a little bit. But the thing that always stopped me, and always, because, you know, when talking about secular music, is the fact that the street music was so intoxicating in terms of the beats, the rhythms, the drums. It was like, it gives you that motivation. So when you talking about being able to infuse that type with the musicality, with the message on top of that, that's double. Now you're talking about something that you need that's going to renew your spirit. Plus it got the melody, plus it got the 808s. That's what we need in the streets, man. That's what we really need.
You got everything you need. And like I say, I play a little snippet. Some songs that ain't even out yet, I play it to my subscribers that come to my live at the beginning or the end, and they love it. They love it. So, you know, I'm just trying to help somebody, man. That's all. Cause we on this world to help somebody, even if it's just one person. Like, you never know what people are going through. All these mental issues, the mental disease, everybody, and plus what's going on with the world. That's why I created a finance channel. I got a Falcons channel too, covering that circus over there with Kevin Stefanski. And I'm coming up. I got 2 more channels I want to start. Like, I'm all in on this. This is what I do, because my brain is so filled with all the ideas that I got to get them out, and this is the best way I can get them out.
Man, listen, it's so crazy. Like, hinder minds think like I don't sleep. Like a lot of people don't know. Like I had to take medicine to go to sleep. I've been diagnosed with it, like extreme insomnia. And for me to even go to sleep, I gotta have I really have to get these ideas out. Like, cause I'll be up all day. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I can't sleep, some stuff, gotta put something on my mind, and I can't even go to sleep until I get it out. So for me, like I appreciate just a person that kind of thinks the same way. And what we're trying to do is uplift. And I want to thank you so much for coming on to collaborate. We appreciate you pulling up. And as always, we want to say, make sure you go in and check my man Moneymane out. Make sure you checking that album coming out the 18th. We're going to bring you back on, you know what I'm saying? We're going to run them numbers up over there. I'm definitely going to personally support the album and make sure we get that. So you guys go check it out. And anything else you want to promote before we get out of here, and let everybody know where they can find you and your social media and all the information where they can go ahead and support you.
I got everything on my page. If you go down there, just click on one video, hit the description. I got all my links. I got Moneymane You Already Know channel. I got the music channel, which is Moneymane You Already Know with no space. I got Brown Time Opulence. That's my finance channel. I got Renewed Gospel. That's the gospel channel we just talked about. I got Godflix Network. I ain't mentioned that to you, but that's the evergreen faith-based that I'm going to get back started on. And then I'm thinking about doing motivational on my original YouTube channel I started years ago in high school. It's just my name. But then I got two other ones that I got coming. It's called Fant Labs. That's about futuristic artificial neural technology labs. That's about all the futuristic stuff that's coming, the AI, the robots. I got that in the works. And then I got a gaming channel too, getting ready for GTA 6 in December. So yeah, G Bush, I'm trying to do it all. I got my hands in everything. I'm in the stock market. I'm doing everything, man. I'm trying to get to this wealth and build this generational wealth for my kids and the rest of my family, man, because it started with me. And I want to say this one last thing. I got a song called Michael. A lot of people that come in my life, they done heard it, and they done heard this story about how the angel, Saint Michael, done came to me. He spoke to me and told me it started with me. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, I ain't really got too much help, far as, I ain't saying support, but financially wise, and I'm learning some new stuff that it's going to take time to learn before I can bring it to anybody, but we on this journey, and I love it.
Hey, listen, man, here in the barbershop, you family, we support you. We're going to support anything you're doing. We're going to support your channel. We're going to uplift, and we appreciate young, just positive Black men that's trying to be an impact on the community and their families. So we definitely going to continue to do that. This ain't the last time you're going to be on. We're going to continue to get back up and link back up and support one another. We want to thank you so much for pulling up, and we want to thank every single person that's putting out this content. Support independent media. So with that being said, you never know where I might show up, radio, television, internet. But if you want the fresh cut on sports, I keep the Clippers with me. You see what is behind me. It's the barbershop. Y'all have a good rest of your evening. And as always, like we always give it up, let's go Browns.